Alright, today's project is to service my Cummins generator. It's up to 100 hours now, so it's time to change the oil filter and the air filter. Spark plugs are still good. So first thing you got to do is make sure the thing doesn't turn on. Well, that's not true. First thing you should do is run it for 15 minutes, which is what I just did. I'm just going to make sure that it doesn't turn on. So hit the emergency, take it out of auto. So you want it in manual, right, not in auto, and then hit the emergency stop button so it can't turn on. It'll say active fault, but you clear that later. So here are all the parts. The oil I've got for this one is 15W40, it's Valvoline Premium Blue. I got the parts there for the air filter and the oil filter. I also purchased this oil filter. It's supposed to be a perfect match. I'm just curious to see whether it works. This takes 15 litres, so I bought well, more than I needed, obviously. So I should be good to go there. And then you open this. Here's your drain hose right here. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. Oil filter, we'll spin that off last. Air filter and the refill cap right in there. Okay, so it's pretty toasty now. All right, we'll get started. All right, so this is the oil I'm going to use. Valvoline Premium Blue 1 Solution 9200, 15W40, got it off Amazon. This generator for this climate in Pennsylvania, just outside of Philly, is originally says in the manual take 5W40. Unfortunately, there's only one certified 5W40 oil from Valvoline, but you cannot get it. And I called Cummins and they said, well, actually we've switched to 15W40 across the board, so anywhere in the US you're okay with 15W40. So this is what I'm using. It takes 15 litres, which is basically 4 of these containers. So we'll give it a crack. So the first thing you want to do is take the oil hose, pull it out of its little bracket there. There's a hole down here, you want to feed it through that. And then we're going to let it drain out. So I'll get to that. All right, so what you're going to want to do is grip this piece and then turn this piece anti-clockwise. I use you can't do it by hand that easily, well I can't anyway. And I don't think you can do it without gripping the, yeah, you've got to grip this collar as well. So I'll do that off camera and you'll see the oil come out. Alright, so the oil's starting to come out. This thing takes a lot of oil, so it's going to take a while. I also undid the cap a little, just here, let some air in. I'll come back once that's done. Alright, here are the Cummins parts for the air filter and for the oil filter. So anyway, I'll show you when I open it up. Okay, so the oil's still coming out a little bit. We're going to go and take the air filter off. In order to do that, well, I've never done it before, so I'm going to use one of these deals, and if failing that, we'll clamp it with one of these bad boys. We'll see how it works. Okay, so taking the air filter off, it's a pretty straightforward process. There's that screw right there, you undo that. It goes right on to, well, this thing right in there. It'll bind a little bit, so even though if the screw is loose, it'll stick. So what you want to do is just twist it and it'll come off. Right, well hopefully you can see that, but it's an A042Y252 filter. You need to take the hose clamp and put it back on, make sure it's the right way around, so the screw faces you when you screw it back on. And then you grab your screwdriver, or in this case our little socket, that should probably do. And just for reference, the socket for me is 8mm. Don't know what that equates to in old school system. Okay, so now we'll take the oil filter off. You're going to rotate it from right to left. Just be careful of the thing that says hot, because you've just run the generator and obviously it's going to be bloody hot. So you can see it's slowly turning. It's hard to do one-handed. Anyway, you get the picture. Okay, so I've loosened it. Like I said, as you're looking at it, you're going to rotate it from right to left. You can see it wants to move by hand. Just be careful, the oil's probably still hot. And you'll probably spill some. Or not. Okay, this will be filled. This thing will be full of oil, so just tip it out. Alright, so here you can see the two oil filters. I've got the Fram obviously on the right hand side and the Fleet Guard, the 3959 on the left. They're almost equivalent, same height. Sorry, the Fleet Guard's a little taller, but it looks like the threads and everything else are the same, so I'm just going to dry fit it and we'll see. But anyway, if you're interested in a different air filter, oil filter, then the XG3976A from Fram might cut it. So I'll just dry fit this just to test it. And feels slightly off. There we go. Yeah, so it actually fits. Interesting. Well, not interesting. It should fit according to the site that matches all these filters. So all you do is you get a little bit of oil and put it around the rim here. That just helps it seal down, so when it won't bind against the oil filter mount. So a little bit of oil, and then we will put this on. Don't force it. If it doesn't feel like it's going on right, then you probably missed the threads. I just hand tighten it, and then I'll do probably another 1/8 of a turn. Take my little gizmo. Just a handy hint with this thing, make sure you grab it nice and high, otherwise you'll dent the filter. Yep, good enough. Alright, so it looks like we're down the last couple of drips, probably about as much as we're going to get out of it. So I'm going to seal it up and start refilling it. Here's where my funnel is. I'm just going to fill it up that way, and anyway, hopefully I don't make a whole bloody mess. Alright, so I put about 3.5 containers, those little containers over there, in. The dipstick now saying full, so anyway, I just pulled the emergency plug out. It says ECM data save in progress. As soon as that is completed, which it is now, it says not in auto. You can hit auto or you can hit manual. I'm going to give it a quick test start and then check it out. Well, it'll have another crack in a minute. That's it. I'll check the oil in about 20 minutes. See how she sits. Alright, it's a little hard to see. Very hard there. But you can see there where the oil's at. So that's after running it for a couple of minutes. It's just below that, well, first hole, if you will, from the bottom. So obviously some of the oil's gone into the oil filter, which you'd expect. So it's going to take a little more. And so far I've put 3.5 containers in. It does call for 4. So yeah, we'll give it some more. Alright, so I just double checked. Once again, got 1 3/4 litres left in my last container, sorry, container number 4, and it's perfectly full of oil, so it's right between the 2 holes in the dipstick, which is where it should be.